Welcome, everyone, to the Bucks County Living Podcast. I'm your host, Alex Neff, your real estate resource. Today, I am joined by my good friend, Bryan Hughes, the president and CEO of the Bryan Hughes Business Connections. How's it going, Bryan?
Good afternoon. What an awesome intro, Alex. Pleasure to meet you and be on your podcast.
Thank you so much for joining me today. We actually just had lunch not too long ago at one of the BHBC groups,
That's
Bryan Hughes Business
the
Connections.
Friday edition,
The
which
Friday
is always
edition.
a good way to end the week.
It really, really is. And the food at Puss in Boots is absolutely delicious.
Off the charts.
I really look forward to getting to meet with you and the other business owners in the area for lunch every Friday. It definitely is one of the highlights of my week.
Listen, I like to end the week strong, and nothing better than hanging out with people that you like to be around that pass business. And there's something about new. People like new. It's a new group, so it was put together by Fred Fletcher. Shout out, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm glad we got to meet and brought you in.
I am too. So I want to talk about Bryan Hughes Business Connections because we, as a member of the group, we just won. We won Bucks Happening.
Yeah,
Bucks
a little
Happening.
bit. Third year in a row, actually. So, yeah, I'm very honored. I mean, there's something about an entrepreneur spirit, right? So, this started out as, we can go into that, but it won Best Chamber or Networking Group of Bucks County 21, 22, 21, 21, and 21, 23. Not that they're dyslexic, but they did put them in order. You know what I mean? But I just like saying tree. Yeah, I mean, we crushed it. I was so honored. And it's all about the members. The members did it.
Yeah,
You
and
know what I mean?
that's no small feat because you're beating out the big name brand ones, right? Like the BNI, the Latip, the Chambers. You're really,
Yeah.
I mean, you're really making your statement in Bucks County for these networking groups. So, how many networking groups do you actually have located in Bucks County?
I have eight. It started out with one 13 years ago, and it became official business in 2016. But we're actually going into Chester County next. So,
Wow.
but that'll be number 9. That's in May. But yeah, no, I love Bucks County. I love the people here, and it's been a whirlwind. You know what I mean?
What are some days and times of the groups that you have? Because I'm sure you have Bucks County is humongous and very diverse. So, what are some of the days and times of the groups that you have?
So we have 5. Wow. So we have 4. All right. So we have a Tuesday morning, 7:30. All the groups meet for an hour.
Okay.
Because I think after that, you know what I mean, people, you got to, I think, honor people's time. So the 7:30 group on Tuesday. And they're kind of a hodgepodge because during the pandemic, it kind of like Zoom kind of crept in. And so it's still lingering Zoom. I'm a face-to-face person. But so our Tuesday morning meeting is breakfast, 7:30 to 8:30 in Warminster. And then we go and 1 week in person, 1 week Zoom. So it's kind of like a hybrid.
Okay.
And then we have a Tuesday lunch group. That's actually my biggest group. We have like 27 members in that group. And that was my first group. And that's in Southampton.
Wow.
And that's 11:45 to 12:45. Wednesday, I have one in Warminster and in Warrenton. So the Warrenton is at the township, Warrenton Township. The CEO is in my group, and he's amazing. Shout out Barry Luba. So and it's good. It's a big conference room, so it's kind of like that professional. You know, I mean, obviously I like to eat, but I mean, once in a while I can miss a meal, especially on Wednesdays. So I have the 7:30 to 8:30 at the township. Then I have the 8:30 to 9:30 in Newtown, and that's it's at the Apex. So shout out to Angelo. And then we meet there, and but that's a hybrid. It's actually, we meet in person, but we also have Zoom on. So people can actually be in person or they could be on Zoom. And then, so that's every week like that. So they have choices. I think you got to give people options to work with
Right.
their schedule. And then we have lunch at Pal's Tap House, and we go when the summer kicks in. We go over to the General, have it outside on the deck, and that's 11:45 to 12:45. So now we're at Wednesday, and like I'm already wiped. You know what I mean? And then Thursday, 7:30 a.m. I come from Delco actually, so I come from exit 1 on the.
That's a long ride.
Yeah, there's no hitting the snooze, and there's no going back. But so after I battle the Blue Route, I come up and we go into Jamison, and that's the Jamison/Doylestown group, and that's 7:45 to 8:45. Again, 1 week in person, and then 1 week Zoom. So, and then Thursday lunch, we go to Trey Fratelli's, which is in Levittown, 11:45 to 12:45. That's in person only.
Langhorne.
Yeah, I get all of them. Again, I'm still learning Bucks. I guess you could tell I'm a Brooklyn guy. I have to read a map.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's Langhorne. But we do have a Levittown, too.
Yeah.
And that's coming up. And then to round out, we have Friday, Puss in Boots. And that's 11:45, 12:45.
Wow. So you're a busy guy. You got everything going throughout the week, all cylinders firing throughout all of the networking groups in Bucks County, and all of them under the Bryan Hughes Business Connection umbrella.
Yeah, there's a total of 8 groups right now. 9 to soon be open in Chester, and we have 127 members.
Wow. I also like what you say about to try and attract the people to join the networking group. I love your slogan. It's not who you know, it's who knows you. How'd you come up with that? Because what's your background in networking experience?
I've been a ham. You know what I mean? I've always been walking. I just think people are always networking. You know, I think a couple things. There's a lot of philosophies. You know what I mean? And what I've learned is I'm like a big sponge. I think there's no right or wrong or absolutes or one way to build any type of mousetrap, right? I think that I read a book, Do What You Love and the Money Will Follow. I also believe in, we're tribal people. I think that we do good in relationships and we're not solitary. That's why when someone they kind of break the law, where they put them alone, right? Some people, meditation's a different thing. You want to meditate for an hour, but you don't want to spend 365 days, solitary. So I think that being around people, supporting people, doing it organically is been the biggest distinction. Again, there's chambers and they're phenomenal. There'll always be chambers. They're not going away. There's, these big organizations being Isla Tip and, good for them. It's awesome. But I'm a mom and pop shop. You know what I mean? Like I'm like an organic guy that is just doing it on my own. And again, not better, just, different. I didn't reinvent the wheel. It's already round, so maybe I just, added a couple more spokes, maybe made it shine a little different. But I really think that, if you get to know people, there's actually only 3 simple rules to networking. This will apply to everywhere you go in life. What group you're in, what organization you're in, and I guarantee this will work for everybody. 1, show up. 2, one-on-ones. And one-on-ones is where we're doing right now. You have conversations with people. You break the ice. Because, it's tough in a crowded room because everybody's got that party face on. How you doing? Crushing it. Of course, you know what I mean? But when you really peel back the layers, the one-on-ones where you find commonality. And the third thing you do is give. I'm a strong advocate. If you just give and help people, first of all, helping people costs nothing. You know what I mean? It's just the right thing to do. Back in the day, I'd be like, I'd be knocking people out in Brooklyn, being a Brooklyn brawler. Now I'm like, you know what? There's better ways. You know what I mean? Better to make friends and influence people than trying to win a fight. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because even if you make it to the top of the rat race, you just king rat. You know what I mean? So
I agree, and I feel like that translates so well as to why we just kind of hit it off right from the bat, right? Because I didn't know you. Fred Fletcher, my mechanic, had brought me in. A good friend of the family too. He brought me into this networking group, asking if I wanted to be the exclusive realtor in this new business connections group that he was starting with you, and just right away, instantly, we connected, and I think it was because we never want to argue with people.
No,
right?
What do you get being right?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
What do you win?
Do I want to be right or do I want to be happy?
Exactly.
And I'm much happier when I'm just able to advise and leave all my cards out on the table and tell you, hey, this is the best that I can do, whatever the situation is. And if I truly feel like I've done my best, then I can kind of walk away happy.
Well, so you just hit the nail on the head, right? You just said Fred brought you in, and I know Fred. I also think a big component in building a tribe and building a group and building a community is like-minded people that support. Now, we don't want a bunch of yes people, you know what I mean? Because you want to learn from people, right? So be open-minded, support, and listen, in life you're going to meet people you like and you don't like, and I think that if you're closed-minded and you come in there like you're better than someone else, and this is any type of organization, I think you can influence people, for the good. And I surround myself with people smarter than me. That's just, so if you come to a Bryan Hughes Business Connections group, you're going to see a lot of smart people. So I facilitate. But the secret, what I did is, how to win friends and influence people, right? You surround yourself with the top 5 people, right? Of those, your network is your net worth. Those are all the aspects that I live by. We've been lucky. BHBC did a lot of work with Tony Robbins. We always I've gone to his events. They've reached out to me. We've worked with him 3 times, and he sends out his number 1 facilitator. And I add value. I think adding value to people's lives will have people hang around. I mean, I got members around 14 years. So, like, legally, we've been married, divorced, twice already, 7 years common law, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I just love, I love the energy that you bring to the group. And I think that it's infectious. You get a bunch of people like, yeah, this is horrible. And yeah, I mean, I just think it's okay to have a bad day, but that's, you save that for later. You know what I mean?
That's stinking thinking,
Yeah.
It's stinking thinking. If I'm miserable for 10 minutes, am I focusing on being miserable for the next 10 minutes, or am I thinking like, wow, I have a whole other 10 minutes to be able to turn that whole attitude around. I have a whole
Right.
day to be able to turn that attitude around. I'm not going to let, a few minutes of my day ruin the entire day, if I'm in a bad mood, if I'm in a foul mood.
Right.
And,
Well, that's smart thinking.
yeah, there's too much time. There's too much time available in a day to be upset throughout the entire day.
No, I mean, if I think that if you ever sit, and I recommend this to anybody that's having a bad day, and you just realize, people are the worst, especially it's road rage, right? You just get off 95. I mean, that place is, you're trying to take your life into your hands anytime, right?
Yeah.
Park in front of a Wawa and just sit in your car and watch everybody hold the door for everybody else. It's like you just killed each other almost for that spot. And then after you park the door, oh, I got that for you. And everybody holds the door for everybody. It's just one of those things that got ingrained in their culture. And I believe in what makes BHBC, again, a long-winded story to get back to ground zero with it, is that organic relationships, big cheers factor, where everybody knows your name, that whole cheers environment. You walk in, you're like, Norm. And that's what I believe, is that people want to go because they don't, like, you're working on your business where you're outside your business, but you're still working on it. So I think you need to get that break, and I think you need peer-to-peer mentoring in different industries. Mm-hmm. So that's some of the special sauce that BHBC.
So were you in different networking groups and chambers before?
All of them.
So you basically took what made sense to you and kind of incorporated all of the good things that you had seen and put it into your own business connection.
Yeah, big fan of a lot of the chambers, Alex. So I was on the board of Lower Bucks. I run the Business Card Exchange Committee. I was an ambassador to East Montgomery Chamber of Commerce. When I was the chairman of the ambassadors of the Greater Northeast Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce. I was on the membership committee of the Pyramid Club, again, because I think there's plenty of, I was in BNI. I was on the membership committee. I was a vice president in La Tip. So, they're all great organizations. And again, I've never seen, people can be a part of multiple things. So I don't believe in that scarcity rule. But I believe that I just saw a lot of things that didn't make sense, like who I could network with and when. And you got to happen on your own. You can't force it. And that's where I think that, again, it's just, there's 31 flavors at Baskin-Robbins for a reason. You know what I mean? Some people need that type of... First of all, the chambers and a networking group is apples and giraffes. They're not the same thing. You know what I mean? Chambers just was built for, like, a lot of, helping people in the community learn about what was going on with, politics and roads. And they still do that. I'm a big fan. I would never turn away a chamber. But what I like about us is that you can cultivate the relationship a lot faster. It's kind of like a fast track, because when you see someone weekly, you get to know them a lot faster, if that makes sense.
I like that. So I guess I want to get to the nitty gritty a little bit about the Bryan Hughes Business Connections. You have a wide variety of membership. Right. a lot of different business owners, different types of business, different services, different products. Everybody does something different. What are some of your, I guess, what are you looking for specifically in some of the groups that would do well? Because this goes out to a bunch of different podcasting platforms. So I just want the listeners to be like, hey, if they're looking for a networking group and they're in XYZ industry,
Right.
then this group might be a good fit for me. So what are you looking for in some of your groups?
So that's great. So there's first of all, there's so many businesses out there, and networking for me, I call it a marathon, not a sprint. There's many ways to get business, whether you have a brick and mortar, whether you have a mom and pop shop, whether you have, you work for a great company, you're a realtor, you're a 1099, you're good. I just think that you always want to get your name out there so what I'm looking for is like-minded people that are looking to support the community. People that are looking to do business with people in the community. Like I drive to come into this community. You know what I mean? So that's how much I like Bucks County, and it's been really good for me. So I think that there's a lot of intangibles which you could. First of all, you meet lifelong friends, partnerships, allies, power partners, mentors, peer-to-peer mentoring. These are the intangibles. I don't believe in ring the bell 30 seconds and then you pull them with the hook. Sometimes, people like to, me, I can babble too. You know what I mean? I know I got verbal diarrhea, but sometimes I think that it's a safe place. I'm a big fan about confidentiality, not conflict. I keep the basics out of it. I keep it simple, keep the religion out of it, keep the politics out of it, and nothing wrong with that stuff. I mean, I'll support local politicians but there's no agenda. I'm not going to be pushed by any side. Anything that's good for the community. If I had someone that was running for this office, I'd have them in to speak to the members if they want to. But we brought in Tony Robbins people, we brought in Les Brown's people, so that's added value. So if you have a business for 25 years, the times are different. Everybody says that things have changed. There is no one or wrong way to do business anymore. What may have worked 5 years ago may not work today. But people still like sitting down talking to people face to face. And you can't Zoom is good because you get a window into everybody's like, oh, there's a cat. No, Amazon package, but everybody's got ADD on Zoom. You know what I mean? And like, oh, I'll be right back, and so I still think face to face is phenomenal. If you're a business owner or you're a C-level employee, or you aspire to just be part of an organization that can champion you, and you're looking to help other people, there's no right or wrong. We are category specific in the groups, but not under the umbrella. I really consider ourselves like a business consulting agency. Because if I like the old fashioned, Mad Men, I mean, you can't do any of that, can't smoke and drink indoors anymore. But, and not that, Surgeon General says it's not good for you. You know what I mean? You got to be over 21. But now we did our public service announcement. But I think that getting back to if you are looking to be a part of something, there's no right or wrong. You just gotta get involved. And listen, we all like to go somewhere. It could be daunting, like going into a group that you don't know anybody. You know what I mean? So that's the people aren't great public speakers. Not everybody just has that gift. So what are you looking for? People are looking for different things. Some people like to belong. The people that just want business, we all want business. So that's what a networking group. It's more than a networking group. I call it your networking family. It's more like a family because you're gonna have like disagreements and not everybody's on the same page and not everybody could do business together. But that doesn't mean that the lessons you learn can save you out there with big deals.
Right.
Man, I could go on like we could run out of camera time. I mean, I'm so passionate about like the people aspect of. They drive me bananas. It's like herding cats, but I still love it. I'm learning every day.
Wow. I love that. And it's clear that you're very passionate about the Bryan Hughes Business Connections, especially putting your own name on it. So that's clearly something you're willing to put your name, your reputation, your everything all into this networking group, this business connection group, and it clearly shows that you're passionate about it and genuinely just trying to help people meet more people to grow their own business and grow as individuals as well.
No, you said that better than you said that better than I. I'm gonna have you give my next testimonial. But no, I appreciate that. Yeah, and people was like, "Oh, why would you name it after yourself?" Well, not because I'm narcissistic, not because well, my last name is to honor my dad, right? But so why I put my name on it is because I believe that people do business with people. Companies have great reputations, but at the end of the day, you know, this place right here, Bucks County, is filled with great people, but they want to do business with Alex, and they're going to follow Alex. So they do business with the individual. So if I'm not willing to stamp my name on my business, then, you know, that says it all.
Exactly.
Because all I have is my reputation.
That's all we have.
Right.
Exactly. That's all we have. Awesome. That's incredible. Now, next I like to move into a section called the Big Three.
Sure.
So these are 3 questions that I ask everybody that comes to the show. So my first question for you, Bryan, is what do you think makes Bucks County a great place to live?
People. I just think that there's certain. So I was originally from Brooklyn. I don't know if anybody on the podcast could tell. And so I went over to Verrazano. I went to Delaware County, and then I got a job out here in Bucks County in Warrenton. That was in 2009, and haven't looked back. So the people are just incredible. The generosity, the giving, the support, the community, the passion, from their love of sports, local, to their parades, to, it's everything that's nice.
Yeah, you should hear that Pennsbury versus Neshaminy homecoming game every year. It is. I live right by Pennsbury High School, and you can hear it, and the kids are just going nuts over this football game, and it is truly. I mean, some of these locals get very, very passionate
Right.
about their sports teams, about their local high school sports. It's incredible, and some of the little league, the baseball teams, and stuff like that. So it's really it is very passionate area.
It's a beautiful area. We
Yeah.
fill with beautiful people, and they're very smart and successful. You know what I mean? And it breeds a great community.
Yeah. My next question is, what's your favorite restaurant in Bucks County, or restaurants? I know there's a lot, and it sounds like you're spending a lot of the week meeting with people.
Yeah,
and
man.
eating,
I haven't missed any meals, in the last couple. Yeah, networking also you got to watch the eating.
Yeah.
So shout out to all my Bucks County restaurants. But I'm a big fan of the General Davis, Edwin. He also owns Pal's Tap House, because we've cultivated a great relationship. He supports my business, I support him. It all started when I was working with a bank. I did business development. So what I would do is I had a great staff. So they would take care of all the operations, opening the accounts, and I would walk them over to Edwin's restaurant. And the owner comes over, he says, "Hi, Edwin's so approachable and friendly." And that's how we started to cultivate the friendship. So, and I'm sure there's a million restaurant owners like that. Everybody's been nice that I went to. Trey Fratelli's is phenomenal. They do a great job. Puss in Boots is incredible. I mean, they all been opening their doors to the networking groups. You know what I mean? So, but Edwin is just, we throw a lot of events there. Well, actually, shameless plug time. If I don't know, once I answer the third question.
I think it's time. Throw it out there.
So Spring Forward is coming up. It's May 9th. It's 5 to 7, and that's at Pal's Tap House. It's just a networking event, $20 for some eats. Bring your business cards. If you're looking to come out and have a happy hour and meet some other people, no pressure to join. We don't shave your head and get you the BHBC tattoo anymore. But I just think it's, it's a lot easier to put 80 people in a room to network than try to find 80 appointments because, again, it's like Sunday dinner. That's kind of what the groups are. You break bread, whether it's in the morning. I know, you eat a roll, you get a roll, but that's another story. But I really think that the website you can go to, and it's www.Bryan, Bryan, Hughes, Hughes, biz. So I'm sure it'll be in the comments below. But yeah, that's where you can get your ticket. And you could always come visit any one of the business connection groups. And, you know, I think, like I said, I love if you love what you do, it shows, and you help people, becoming a better public speaker is another reason. Because, people, was it two things, death and being a better public, they're like, I'd rather die than speak.
Yeah,
And those are
the two biggest fears.
Right.
Is I think it's like drowning and then public speaking,
Right.
which is bananas to me. I mean, I never had an issue with public speaking. That's just me personally, but I know
No,
it's
you're
like,
natural.
It truly like cripples some people to be able
It
to get
does.
out there in front of people in front of a room, even if just 5 or 6 people to just start speaking.
I used to sweat like the guy from Airplane. You know what I mean? Like just like the waterworks would come down because sometimes why I stack the deck. But yeah, I think that facing your fears is listen. You can't be afraid of something you don't know unless you try. So yeah, I think we offer a warm, welcoming environment. So I think that, like I said, I'm looking forward to doing business with you. I know you have a great reputation as a realtor. What you do, I think, in the podcast is amazing.
Thank you.
I think that bringing shine to individuals, promoting them, giving, it just comes back. So I do have a podcast as well. It's called How You Doing with Bryan Hughes, and the premise is, and it's on YouTube only right now. The premise was just to have a conversation. I find interesting people. I found someone that, they used to be a dancer, and then they became an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? There was someone that faced their fears and when wasn't able to speak. I've had Chamber of Commerce leaders on there and discuss why networking is important. So yeah, it's I would love to have you on as well and return the favor.
I'm excited to be on it.
Excellent. Thank you,
I'm
sir.
excited to be on it. Awesome. And my last question, Bryan, is where can people find out more about you and the How You Doing podcast and Bryan Hughes Business Connections?
Well, you type in Bryan Hughes Business Connections, and you will pull it up on Google. We got some 5 stars up there. We got to get a lot more, but it's everything is my name. Bryan Hughes with a Y. Why not? I guess people say I, but I say Y. So it's Bryan Hughes. If you type in bryanhughes.biz, you will see a whole onslaught of our meetup groups. You will see the website. You will see some flyers if you look at images. Some of our events. We had our 10th annual holiday mixer. We had 162 people. So that's my favorite time of the year is Christmas. So we throw a great holiday mixer. And then, of course, the How You Doing podcast, just How You Doing with Bryan Hughes, is on YouTube. And if you check out the website, you could see where all the locations are.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Bryan, for coming out today and talking about the business connections. I'm really thrilled that I'm a part of one of the groups, and I'm really excited to see how the Bryan Hughes Business Connections really continue to grow and what the ripple effect that is going to be all throughout Bucks County and all around southeastern Pennsylvania, and who knows, maybe even back home in your beloved Brooklyn.
Yeah, you never know, right?
You never
Bryan
know.
from Brooklyn.
You never know.
But I wanted to say is shout out to you and your company for winning Bucks Happening 2 years in a row.
Yes,
so you
thank
are
you.
a winner.
Thank you. Yeah, we have to catch up to you. You got 3 years in a row.
Triple. Got tree.
Yeah,
1, 2,
you
3
got
years, but no, a
three.
tree-peat. But I don't know what that makes you. You're a double tree-peat. Like, I don't know, it's like the 5th Powell winner now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Something like the third cousin twice removed, something like that. So, but no, yeah, we just won Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach. The Yardley Newtown office won our second year in a row best real estate office in Bucks County.
That is phenomenal.
So yeah, and I'm thrilled to be a part of such a wonderful organization, and I'm really excited to be here because not only is everybody always on their A game in this office, but there's also no other brokerage that does more business in Bucks County than Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Fox and Roach. We have 4 offices in Bucks County, all in communications with one another, but clearly our Yardley Newtown office won the best office out
That's
of every
phenomenal.
office in Bucks County possible. So
It's a lot of competition.
it is. But I'm really thrilled with what you said, because it's not who you know, it's who knows you. People might choose to do business, real estate business with another real estate brokerage, and that's okay. There's plenty of inventory to go around. It's a very large market for everybody to be able to eat and pay their bills and make a living out of this. But it's really just about who you know. It's who do you feel comfortable with opening that next chapter of life with.
Because people believe in people, right?
Exactly.
So, like, example, it's like, if you ever, like, back in the day, clubbing days, right? And this is a short story, but, like, we used to have some Gothic places in Manhattan, and if you weren't on the list, but, like, I know Joey. Oh, you know Joey? Yeah, let him right in. So it's who you know always. And again, that's because it's just putting out that good vibes of helping people. Like, one of my favorite master principle theories I'll leave you with is, when you start anything, especially and this is for the entrepreneurs out there that started out, because, they can buy all the books and the videos. And first of all, you just have to have the mindset failure is not an option. And you always got to pivot. But one of my favorite master principle theories is, just because you don't know the results doesn't mean you don't manage the actions. So that's deep as I get on my fortune cookie,
Very
advice.
Very powerful and wise words from Bryan Hughes, the business connection guru. So, Bryan, thank you again for coming out today. I'm really excited to see how your networking group continues to grow throughout.
It's my honor, Alex. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you. And as always, I'm your host, Alex Neff. Make sure to reach out if you have any questions about Bucks County living.